Okay, so hello, friends. I just got done doing a lengthy, hysterically long-winded job rewiring that Musicman 412 cab that came to me broken, but then ended up because there is good left in the world. Ended up being more or less free to me. And in order to get that wired up, I had to take two 8 ohm 12-inch speakers from Other Things to get the cab going because I needed four 8 ohm speakers. So I was left with a 1970s Musicmaster Bass Amp that did not have a speaker. And it didn't have a speaker because I took the Celestian greenback out of it. So I could put it in the 4x12. I happened to have a replacement handy. Not a replacement, a substitution. And we'll see how long this speaker stays in the Musicmaster, but I'm excited to hear what it sounds like. I've had a handful of Musicmaster bass amps over the last few years, and they're really pretty cool. Or the ones I've had sounded awesome. They are still relatively inexpensive. Especially for, like a point-to-point wired, like hand-wired tube amp. They make about 12 volts. Sorry, watts. About 12 watts into a 12-inch speaker. And they were intended as bass amps, kind of like practice or student bass amps. But they quickly got picked up and used by guitar players because a 12-inch speaker is perfect for their needs. They've got two 6v6s as the in a 12AX7 as the tube complement, which puts them in a neat similar category to a champ. And so you can get some pretty similar cool champ sounds out of a Musicmaster bass amp, and usually spend less money doing it. And so I have just put a new speaker in this, and here is what I had handy. This is a late 60s, early 70s JBL d120f that has always been 8 ohms. It came out of a Silverface Twin. Came out of that Silverface Twin. This is funny. Putting this speaker in this amp is humorous. It is a funny thing to do, and I am doing it because I am a funny person. It's funny because the speaker is expensive. The speaker is, depending on who's interested in it, the speaker is more expensive than the amp. I like these speakers. I don't just have them because they are expensive. I think they sound fucking sick. They're really, really clean with a lot of high end. And when they were manufactured, they were really just about They were one of the more efficient speakers that you could get. Well, it sounds pretty good. Volume's on like 3 right now. I'm playing a old 80s Squire Stratocaster. When I bought the Musicmaster Bass Amp, the person I bought it from let me know that it had been modified. I don't know what sort of modifications were done, but I liked that it ran really quietly. It was stable. It got to the volume that I expected. But at least on this amp, compared to the other 2 Musicmasters that I've had in my life, it was a lot. It felt like it lacked a certain amount of high end. When I bought the amp, it had a Jensen C12K in it, I think. And I don't know a ton about that speaker. But all the Jensens that I've played in my life are not what I would call mellow speakers. But it was a pretty mellow sounding amp until you got it up to 10, and then it really opened up. What I was hoping that this d120f JBL would do would maybe kind of meet me in the middle a bit, and give me a little bit more top end, because I knew how bright of a speaker it was. Sitting next to it, I'm pretty pleased. Put down the Stratocaster and picked up this Kramer because it has old DiMarzio super distortions. I wanted to see what happens if I push the front end a little bit more at the same volume. Tone on the amp is at 10 and volume's at 3. Let's take it up to 6 and see what happens. distortion. And for the last like 20 or 30 seconds, you were hearing the neck pickup on full humbucker, and now it's on single coil. And I'm pleased at how articulate that is. Now it's on single coil. Now it's on humbucker. Bridge pickup, single coil. Humbucker. Man, it sounds fucking great in the room. Alright, 10 and 10. That was bridge humbucker. That was neck humbucker. Phone's like at the speaker level, so you could be getting blown out of the water right now, but it's a Pixel, and it tends to have a pretty good, decent like limiter on it, so maybe it doesn't. Woo! This speaker is definitely doing what I hoped it would, this amp, and so I am sitting here before you, a pleased gentleman. Neck humbucker, bridge single coil, all the tones at 10, neck rolled back a little bit. Does that thing. So right now we're at neck humbucker and with the volume rolled back to like 6 or 7, and it just does that champ thing super pleasantly, where you roll back the volume, you take a little bit of heat off the grease. You're not smoking anymore. You can get an actual clean when you're playing lightly. Great bloom when you dig in just a little bit. But then it's time to knock the king off the throne. You got 3 more on your volume, and it's just like, bam, you're there. Man, look. Just look, okay? That turned out great. Also, it's just a lot of fun to take this humble amp. You can still find them for like $400. Occasionally, people are asking upwards of like 7 or 8 for them on Reverb, but I don't know, make your money. But it's just like, it's kind of the bubble, the 2021 bubble, if you ask me. But here we are, swag on 100 million, with a D120f orange frame in the back of a Musicmaster Bass Amp. And that's all I have to say. And I'm managing to get both myself and the speaker not in the shot at the same time. How do you do it, Owen? How do you do it? I'm going to press the stop record button with my lips because I'm kissing you goodbye.